You're listening to Mike Harding. My guest on the programme this week is singer and musician Tom McConville, also known as the Newcastle Fiddler.
Way I man, way I man, way I man.
I grew up on Tyneside, right in the middle of Newcastle upon Tyne, the end of Scotswood Road, and I grew up in a pub. And that's where I got my first music. People came into the pub and sang and played instruments. I've played the fiddle since I was 6 years old.
The very first fiddle player I ever met in my life was the insurance man who used to come to my dad's pub. And he was a great fiddler and a great fiddler as well.
The customers were mainly Scots and Irish and of course Geordies. There was a musician called James Hill who lived there in the mid-19th century, and that was the first place I heard James Hill music. And James Hill was a very big influence on me, something very Tyneside orientated about the music, obviously with the tunes named after the high level bridge and the quayside.
Actually a wonderful James Hill tune we're going to do, called The Earl Grey, and then we're going to do a tune after that from Scotland, from the north of Scotland. So you can have a wee dance if you fancy, just relax. If you're not sure how to do the dances for any of these things, there's little signs above the door, you see, there.
Living people, Sean Maguire was my biggest influence, a fantastic Irish fiddle player, a genius really, and he taught me bowing on the fiddle. And Dennis Ryan in Ireland was a big influence on me, and Tommy Peoples from Donegal, and the list is endless. But my playing is essentially Newcastle Irish really. My humour came from all the people in my dad's pub who were far funnier than anybody I ever saw on the telly. So that was the first influence. The very first gigs that I did was actually with a comedian called Mick Elliott. And he took me around and he showed me how to use the stage. And that's what actually gives you the successful evening. Your music, you should know it very, very well when you get up. And as long as you can communicate, then the music will take care of itself.
You dread the call, don't you, when your mates phone you up and say, "Oh, I've got a new kitchen, come round and see it." Exciting. Oh, tell them out. But no, so you go around and say, "Well, here's the new tap." So, oh, that's a lovely new tap then, the new sink. This is where we cut the carrots now. So have a wee dance if you fancy. We'll play these from my Uncle Harry, who was from Donegal, and I always dedicate one tune in the set to him, and he loved jigs, and he always wore a cap, and at the match, if it started to rain, he took it off. And I asked him one day, being a little clever chap, I said, "Why do you take your cap off when it's raining?" And he said, "Well, I don't want to sit in the house with a wet cap on."
For the bigger venues, I would probably have Claire Mann and Aaron Jones, and a fantastic fiddle player, young Peter Tickell. He's a fiddle genius really, and with a bass player, Joss Elliott. We sometimes do gigs at the Sage in Gateshead actually. It's a lovely venue, fantastic acoustics. And I also carry a sound man called Ron Angus, who's fantastic. He does all my albums, gets a great fiddle sound and great vocals. So it's a big family affair. This evening I'm joined by two tremendous musicians. The first is Claire Mann. Now, Claire is an All-Ireland champion on flute, fiddle and whistle. She's a fantastic musician. And the other one is Aaron Jones, who comes from an Irish background. Claire is from Newcastle, of course. Aaron's family from Ireland. And he's a fantastic guitarist and bouzouki player. So I'm very, very privileged to play with them, really. Great musicians. I use another guitar player called David Wood, who's another great player. And then another guitar player called David Newey, who's fantastic, both fingerstyle and flat pick. All wonderful players.
There's no place in this world
I want to be playing the fiddle when I die. Some people have said that can be arranged. But I think it's the passion and love of what you do which is conveyed to people. And I think young people especially, you can influence them. I mean, you're in a very privileged position to teach people. I can teach very well young people. But I think the love of what you do and the passion for it is the main influence. Every year I go to the BBC Radio 2 Folk Awards. Mike Harden, of course, does the radio programme every week.
It's a real pleasure to present this award for Best Musician. And I first saw the winner when I was aged 12. I was absolutely blown away by the energy and passion he had for music. To watch him play the fiddle and sing was truly inspirational. Forever on the road or making records, he is always pushing his boundaries. So it gives me great pleasure to tell you that the winner of the BBC Radio 2 Folk Award for Best Musician goes to Tom McConville.
Whenever I do a concert, I feel really, really happy because they've come to see me and I just love people. Like, stupid boy.
I'm very fluent in the language from Shetland. I speak a lot of Shet. And she died gloriously drunk on the Northern Line, and she went around for a few days before she was splattered. Fantastic. It's better than the laundrette, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, good grief, oh.